Greetings and salutations, travelers of the internet, and welcome to the Lit Round Table. I'm Joseph.
And I'm Anna, and we'll be your wise or not so wise mentors for today's audio adventure into all things storytelling.
Welcome to episode 8
of
the Lit Round Table.
8.
Season 2.
Yeah. Today we've done Anna.
Wow. 1 minute in.
Oy vey. Okay.
Good job.
We've done Anna. Oh, great. We've done Anna ranks Ghibli movies. So today, in honor of Star Wars Day, which is the day that we're recording this, we're doing Josef ranks Star Wars edition. Which I'm very
May the
excited.
4th be with you.
And also with you.
Yay. And then tomorrow is Revenge of the 5th.
Ooh, I like that. Mm-hmm. Fun. Star Wars all week long.
Yeah. Very good. Sounds good to me.
Yes. But before we get into that, let's talk about what we're reading, watching, playing.
I mean, maybe you.
I have not read anything. So we just get that taken care of at the top.
Okay.
Except for
sounds good.
Copy for podcast. Yeah. So Joseph, tell us what you got. What's going on?
Well, so with what I'm watching, we are still watching Assassination Classroom, which has been a joy. I think we have like 13 episodes left or something in season 2.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, we're getting into the thick of it now. I'm super excited. Also, Hope and I have still been watching Star Wars movies while we make our HelloFresh meals, and the next one is Revenge of the Sith. We finished Attack of the Clones. Also still watching Moon Knight, which tonight is the season finale. So once we're done recording, I'm going to go watch that, and I'm excited about it. And also still watching Critical Role. The last thing they did was the Red Nose Day with Stephen Colbert, which I also need to go back and watch because that was the day before Hope and I were traveling up to Nebraska again. So didn't get to watch all of that, but I will want to watch that eventually.
It was shorter than their usual campaigns, so it was only like an hour and a half. So it's not like as much of a time commitment. Which is nice.
Okay, that's good to know. That's pretty much it for watching. Not a ton on there for reading. I actually have a lot to talk about for reading. So I finished The Way of Kings, which is book 1 of the Stormlight Archive. That was pretty incredible. It was, there was, Brandon Sanderson has this kind of reputation among his fans of doing what they call a Sanderlanche or something like that, where like the end of his books are just an avalanche of plot twists and climax and craziness, and that's pretty much the way it was. It was super good, super happy about that, and so I did start book 2, which is Words of Radiance, in the Stormlight Archive. So
nice.
I have another brick to read through. I don't have the audiobook yet though, so I'm stuck with just the physical book because I had gotten some audiobooks for Hope and I to listen to on the road trip up to Nebraska, and I used all my Audible credits. Oops. So one of them that the one that we actually started on the way up was called The Unbroken. It's a fantasy book, kind of a like military fantasy. Like the main character is a conscript in the military. I think it's about them falling in love with like the princess of their kingdom or so. Yeah, it's like this thing. It's this whole thing.
Okay.
That was one I thought Hope would like. So the one that I got is called The Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne. And that one is the one I've been listening to on my drives to work while I wait to buy, or not to buy, to use my Audible credit to get the next Stormlight book. But that one's been really good. It's kind of a new series. It's going to be a trilogy, and this is book one. And it's got a lot of like Norse and Germanic things going on that I wasn't expecting. Like the monsters are called Vaesen, which if you've ever watched
Mm.
Grimm, that's what the monster people are called. They're the Vesen. Um, that's been cool. There's like dragons and giant wolves, and one of the characters' names is Varg,
Hmm.
and the other one is Orca. And
Interesting.
there's like towns with jarls, and it's like very Viking and Germanic and very like Flight of the Valkyrie, like
Sure.
um, it's been really fun so far. And we are also reading Light of the Midnight Stars by Rena Rossner, which you sent me a text today that kind of freaked me out a little bit. It kind of freaked me
Oh.
out a little bit. um, so Rena
Yeah.
Rossner, the author of Light of the Midnight Stars, I'll let you go ahead and let people know.
She liked one of our tweets from the Lit Roundtable podcast Twitter page. So yeah, every time we have
No.
new every time we have new episodes of the read along drop, I share them on Twitter, just like I do with all of our episodes. And I have specifically not been tagging Rena Rossner in this because I know she's on Twitter, but I also know that like it's kind of like
Obnoxious.
to get tagged in like reviews and things. And even though we're not technically doing a review, we're doing a read along, which is different. I didn't want to
Yeah.
inundate her with that, but she saw one of the tweets and liked it. So, and it was the one where I just complimented on her ability to craft grief for these characters, and like the way that she has written their grief has been very profound. She liked that tweet, which I was really excited about. I hope she's not actually listening, but if she is, that's really exciting. But I really hope she's
That
not.
would be terrifying.
Yeah.
That would be terrifying. Hey, Rena Rossner, if you ever want to come on the podcast, just let us know.
Yes.
You can
Oh,
be our first guest.
would love that.
I would cry. So, and just out
And
of
you don't really cry.
just out of terror. So anyway, yes, we are still reading Light of the Midnight Stars for our read along series. That has been coming along well. We're about halfway ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ish.
That sounds right. Yeah. So
I have
that's
it right
it
here.
for
Let me
my
look.
reading. Halfway ish. Cool. Yes, that's it for my reading. For playing, it's not as long of a list, although actually I should include some board games on here. Okay, so I'll end with the board games. So, still playing Lego Star Wars, and we're still playing The One Ring, which I'll just mention now. Our bonus content for this next month that
For
we're going to
May.
upload is going to be us creating a backup character for Anna for our One Ring game, because she's always getting knocked unconscious.
It's true.
So
One of these days I'm going to actually just die. It's going to be a real bummer.
yeah, we're gonna make you a backup character, and it's gonna be fun. So that's what our next video or our next bonus content episode is gonna be.
Yeah.
So
Patreon exclusive.
yes, so go subscribe to our Patreon if you would like to view that content. I think that's the $10 one. Yeah. So you'd have to be in the $10 tier, but the $5 tier would also give you voting rights on our read along things that we do. So anyway, that's the One Ring. Also, so for board games, Hope and I went to visit her brother and his girlfriend Sarah, and she has introduced us to some new board games. And also, she's a listener of the podcast.
She
Uh,
is.
she started at the beginning, so it's going to take a while for her to get here. But if you do, hi Sarah.
We're glad
Thanks
you're
for being
here.
Yeah, thanks for being cool and listening and introducing me to some new board games. Um, we played Lords of Waterdeep, which is a
Ooh.
D&D. I don't know. I think it's made by the same people that do D&D, but it's like a board game. That's kind of a uh, you're like putting your people in certain parts of the town to get you're like it's a recruiting game. You're recruiting the different classes of people in D&D, like you're recruiting rogues and barbarians and stuff that you need to complete certain quests, and it's just this it's really fun. It's pretty complex, but um if you have a chance to play it with someone who has played it before so they can show you how it's done, definitely recommend you do it because it was very fun. Um,
Nice.
we also played uh, what was it? Oh my goodness. I actually own it because you gave it to me. It starts with an S. It's got gems in it. You
Oh,
buy stuff with the gems. Um, oh,
I know
wow.
exactly what you're talking about. I was gonna say sequence, but it's not sequence. It's
No, no. Um,
oh, Splendor.
Splendor,
Splendor.
thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Splendor. So we played an expansion to Splendor, which is one where like in the base game you're just kind of it's just the first one to 10 points wins, but with this expansion you're actually trying to like take over a city, and you have to have a certain amount of different types of gems to like take it over or to claim the city. And so there's like more of a goal that you're reaching for, so it just kind of makes more sense that way. But I thought it was fun. So that was a good time.
Nice.
Um, yeah. So that's pretty much it for the gaming side of things for me. Um,
Well, when you guys were
yeah.
up here, we did play Plunder again with mom and dad, and that was very fun.
Oh,
And
you're
I
right. Plunder, the pirate game. You did win. Congratulations.
won. Thank you.
Yeah.
It was
Good
really fun.
job. I won the
And I
last one,
wasn't
so
even, it's true. I wasn't even that much of a pirate. So I must have
yeah,
just
you
stayed
were
on
set
my
up pretty well.
corner of the board.
Yeah. You
But
stayed in your lane and nobody got hurt.
yeah, I did take one of dad's islands. So, but that was, I didn't sink anybody's ship or anything.
Yeah.
So
Me neither. My ship got sunk though.
you it did.
That's
It
for
did
dang
indeed.
sure. But it's still fun. It's a fun game.
It is really fun.
Yeah. So, your turn. What are you watching? What you reading? What you playing?
So I am reading. Period. No. um, okay, I've got Light of the Midnight Stars by Rena Rossner, obviously. Still
Hmm.
working on the Banks of Plum Creek by Laura Ingalls Wilder. We had book club today, and that was really fun. Um, I'm also have picked up the Witch Hat Atelier book again. I'm starting over volume 1 because it had been a while, and I
And that
wanted
is
to
a
start again.
manga.
It's a manga, yes.
Hmm.
Um, and let's see, I have had a couple romance novels in the background, like while I'm working on a big old computer project. So what was that called? What were those called? They're by Tessa Bailey. The first one was I should have written this down. Hold on.
I'm the one that took notes this time.
I know. I took notes for our main like episode stuff.
Oh, okay.
Fix Her Up.
I just wrote down the names of the Star Wars movies so I didn't forget any.
That's nice. Yeah, so Tessa Bailey, her series, Fix Her Up, and then the one I'm currently listening to is Love Her or Lose Her. It's the
Hmm.
sequel. Um, they're just good background noise books.
Hmm. Sure.
It's funny. I never like considered myself a romance reader, but recently I just don't have to think about them too hard. They're just kind of nice
Hmm.
when I'm
Yeah.
multitasking. So, um, yeah, I think that's it for reading. That's all I can think of anyway.
Hmm.
And then for watching, I am watching Outlander. I have one more episode
Oof.
It's the season finale, and oh my goodness, stressful. As always.
Mm-hmm.
And I have. I also started watching. Oh my gosh, it's that slime show. It's an anime.
The time I got reincarnated as a slime.
No,
Oh, right. It's
it's
not
not.
that one. It's a different
It's
one.
not that easy.
The one where she kills a bunch of slimes for 100 years and now she's maxed out her level or something, right?
Yes. Okay. It's officially called I've been killing slimes for 300 years and maxed out my level.
Okay. I was close.
You were close. It's a very obnoxious title, which is why I could not
Mm.
remember what it was called. But I did start watching that. It's very cute. I don't know if it's by the same people that wrote the I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, or if they're related somehow.
Probably.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Somebody knows. If you know, tell us. But otherwise, I'll just
Is
muddle
that on
through it.
Crunchy? Is that on Crunchyroll?
Yeah,
Okay. I'm about to look that one up.
Yep.
That sounds fun.
it is really fun. Because she like doesn't realize that she's maxed out her level until she, yeah. Anyway, it's really cute.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm forgetting stuff.
Well, I already mentioned Assassination Classroom.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. It's been a doozy of a month. And it's only day 4.
It is. Sure is.
No, April was the real doozy. It's just bleeding into May. I think that's it. Outlander. Oh, Critical Role, Campaign 3, obviously, and also Campaign 2. Which I did have a
Ooh, what's the
spoiler for.
Oh, you did get spoiled for something in campaign 2, didn't you?
Yeah, but you know, it's okay. I fully recognize that I'm watching it well after the fact, so if things get spoiled, like, it's my own fault. I don't get mad about spoilers generally, so
Yeah.
if anything, you were more mad that it got spoiled for me.
Yeah, but it wasn't like you went out of your way to find a spoiler. You saw some like fan art,
Right.
and even the fan art wasn't really a spoiler. It just caused you to ask questions about what happens to someone because they were missing. From
Well,
the
no,
fan
my
art.
question was, who plays this character? And the answer was this person. I go, oh, is that campaign 1 or campaign 2? Oh, it's campaign 2. Oh, that means their first character died.
Yeah.
Because that's the only reason you have a second character. So, generally. But anyhow.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say about that.
But
As far as where I'm at in campaign 2, things just got real crazy with they had like planned a heist thing and it blew up. Wink wink. So
Fluffernutter, did you see Fluffernutter? Has that happened yet?
I don't know.
Oh, no, you would know. No, it hasn't. Okay. It's fine. Oh,
They just
guess not till
solved
later.
they just solved like a puzzle underground too. So that was a deal.
Mm-hmm.
But
Gotcha.
it's been really fun. It is a little challenging to switch between the two campaigns, which I think I've talked about on here before. But because
Yeah.
I forget, like, oh, why isn't Fern here? Oh yeah, it's because Fern isn't in this campaign.
Nope.
So I think that's all I've been watching. I had been watching a lot of Critical Role while I was doing some hand quilting. That project is done now, so I'm getting to do a little more like recreational watching, which is nice. So for playing, we've been doing the One Ring RPG, as Joseph mentioned, and Plunder. So that's really all I've got going for playing. You don't know this, listener, but that took entirely too long to get out because of technical issues.
Yep. It's
For
okay.
that one little sentence.
It's all good.
Anyway.
It do be that way sometimes.
It do be that way sometimes. Okay, so let's get into the main event here. I want to hear all about your Star Wars favorites, least favorites, your ranking. I want it all, man.
Okay, hit me with it.
Okay, so
Try not to disappoint.
No, it'll be fine. It'll be great. So we're going to do kind of like the Studio Ghibli movie, although the Studio Ghibli movie, the Studio Ghibli episode, although I have seen all of the same Star Wars stuff that you have seen for the most part. But I want to focus on
Mm-hmm.
your rankings since we focus on mine for Studio Ghibli. So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so we're going to do I'll ask you some questions for your best and worst and everything in between. And then at the very end, we'll get your ranking of the 9 saga movies. How's that sound?
Oh boy. Oh boy. All right.
Okay.
Let's go.
Are you
Here we
ready?
go. Hit me. Hit me.
Which movie has your favorite soundtrack?
I knew you were going to ask me that.
Yes, of course.
Dang it. Oh, man. So, I think I have to go with Revenge of the Sith
Hmm.
because it's got the Battle of the Heroes with Anakin and Obi-Wan. It has Duel of Fates mixed in there when Yoda's fighting Sidious. It has that song, like Padme's Ruminations, I think is what it's called, where she's like looking out their apartment window and Anakin's in the Jedi Temple and it's just like super dramatic and the sun is setting and yeah. Yeah, Revenge of the Sith just has some of my most memorable and my favorite music moments overall in Star Wars. So,
Yeah, totally. So, going along with that, do you have a favorite song? Can you pick one?
that's mean. Favorite song overall.
Yeah.
um it's just so hard because they've all got such great moments for like songs. They
Mm-hmm.
all have like all the movies have really good songs. Like I'm gonna have to go with probably Battle of Heroes with Anakin versus
Mm-hmm.
Obi-Wan because when the Kenobi trailer came out and you hear that theme come back, I
Yeah.
freaked out.
Yeah. That's
It's just
fair.
so good. But also I do have there's a special place in my heart for just the binary sunset in A New Hope.
Yes.
The first time you hear
Yes.
that theme. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah.
Well, do you have a least favorite song?
Oh, I don't know if I have a least favorite song. Um, you know what? No, I do. I have two least favorite songs, and they're both in Return of the Jedi because they changed one of the songs that they sing in Jabba's palace. They changed the song, and they
Mm.
also changed
Yeah.
the song that the Ewoks sing at the end of the movie. Instead of the Yub Nub song, they changed it to some other dumb thing. So those
Huh.
are my two least favorite songs because I think the original songs that were in there were way better and catchier, and I
Gotcha.
miss them so much.
Okay. I actually didn't expect you to have an answer for that one, so that's really funny.
Well,
I'm glad you had something.
surprise, surprise, surprise.
I love it. Um, okay. Do you have a favorite droid? And this doesn't have to be in the 9 movies. It could be like in all of Star Wars media. Do you have a favorite
Okay,
droid?
my favorite droid in all of Star Wars is
Mm-hmm.
by far and away K2SO from Rogue One.
Mm.
I love that droid so much. I love the voice actor for that droid. Um, he's the
Yeah.
same
Who
guy that
was the voice
played
actor? Oh,
he played Wash in
Alan Tudyk,
Firefly.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he played Wash in Firefly. I love that
Yeah.
guy. So that is his just the dry, sarcastic sense of humor coming from the droid. Was incredible. So that's my favorite.
Love it. Love it. Do you have a favorite Jedi?
My gut
I know what you would have
reaction.
said as a kid, but I'm curious if it's changed.
What would I have said as a kid? What do you think?
Mace Windu. Mace Windu.
No, I mean that was my.
When Attack of the Clones first came out,
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think. Well, okay. So I'll say this: my favorite Jedi now
hmm
is Obi-Wan because
good choice.
um he's just so he's very prevalent in all the movies, right? He's got some of the
Mm-hmm.
best like one-liners and quips. He's so snarky, and I just um, I like his fighting style and his like he's very defensive, but it's yeah, it's
Yeah.
cool. If you get really lost in the weeds in like his lightsaber fighting style, um, yeah, it's yeah, I know too much, but it's okay.
I love it.
But
It's great.
I think that a close second for Obi-Wan is probably Qui-Gon Jinn. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Liam Neeson did great as Qui-Gon, the wise mentor figure, super cool. So,
Totally. Okay. On the flip side of that coin, who is your favorite Sith?
oh man, that's a great one. My favorite Sith.
I mean, you don't have nearly as many choices.
I don't, which means I'm. Ugh, that's hard. That's hard. I really like. I like Darth Maul. I do. And I really like the voice actor for Darth Maul in Clone Wars, Sam Witwer. Um, Also the voice of Starkiller in the Force Unleashed video games. And I think he also voices Palpatine in some things too. Anyway, I really like Darth Maul.
Um, okay. Favorite class of ship? Do you have one?
Favorite class of ship.
Mm-hmm.
This is like asking like
Or if you have a
someone.
favorite ship, like I mean, like a spaceship.
Yeah, it's like asking someone their favorite car model
It totally is.
for like people who like care about cars. Um,
Which neither of us do.
right. So this is much more appealing to me. Honestly, though, it's I really uh, it hasn't existed for long, and it might just be because it's new and shiny and cool. But Mandalorian's new ship, like the N1 Starfighter, like
Yeah.
the silver chrome modified Naboo starfighter with the dome thing for
Mm-hmm.
Grogu to sit in instead of the astromech droid is
Yeah.
pretty stinking cool, and that thing just rips through space. It's so fast. That was such a
Yeah.
cool scene. Um,
It was. I agree.
yeah, super cool, and I can't wait to see him zip around in that thing in the next season of Mandalorian. Um, but other than that, I would have to go with Slave One.
Okay.
If I was going to go with one that has been around longer, um, solely because of the seismic charges.
Oh, of course.
That was like one of the coolest things ever in Attack of the Clones
Yeah.
when those things get dropped on Obi-Wan in the asteroid field. Oh, in the theaters, that sound effect was incredible.
Agreed.
Mm.
Wonderful. Do you have a favorite main character?
Oh, I mean, a favorite main character, because that's the thing. My favorite characters are rarely the main character.
I know.
So asking me for my favorite main character is cruel. I'd probably have to go with. I mean, he's cringy, but I'm gonna have to go with Anakin, just
Hmm.
because I don't know. He's like he has really stupid moments, but getting to watch the like corruption arc from like especially from episode 2 to episode 3
Hmm.
um, is really interesting to me. So I'm gonna go with that because he had the most dramatic character arc of probably any character in the series, like total. Um, and then especially going from Anakin to Darth Vader, and then redeeming himself at the end of Return of the Jedi.
Sure.
I think
Sure.
I'm gonna have to go with Anakin Skywalker slash Darth Vader. Um, yeah.
Okay. Valid. Do you have a favorite female character?
Oh boy, sure. I mean, honestly, my favorite female character in Star Wars probably isn't even in one of the Skywalker movies. It's probably
That's okay. We can go. We can expand this to like other Star Wars
okay. Okay.
media as well.
Um, I mean, I really liked
Mm-hmm.
Jyn Erso in Rogue One. She was a really cool protagonist. Um, just kind of the embodiment of a rebel, and pulled off the mission to steal the Death Star plans.
Mm-hmm.
But I also really like there's some Clone Wars characters that I really like. I really liked Duchess Satine. I probably liked
I
Duchess
heard a
Satine.
theory about her,
Oh no.
but I'll let you pick your favorite female character, and then we'll.
Does it tie into the Kenobi show at all?
Uh,
Oh, okay.
well, maybe,
Um,
but no.
I really liked Duchess Satine. I probably liked her character more than Padme, to be honest. um,
She seemed to have more conviction than Padme, which is wild because Padme is like oozing conviction. But
yeah, but Padme's oozing conviction in a way that's like something, especially rewatching these prequel movies. Padme does come off as a little like know-it-all entitled.
mm-hmm.
Um, Especially when they land on Geonosis, her and Anakin do to rescue Obi-Wan, and she says, "Follow my lead.
Right,
I might be able to get a diplomatic solution to this mess." And I'm like, "Honey, you just landed on a hostile alien planet. You snuck in against their. You did not go through the proper channels. You're basically wandering into this alien species. Like you wandered into a factory, into the break room, and just started killing people because
so true.
the bug people, the Geonosians, wake up in their beds to
Mm-hmm.
you and Anakin walking down the hallway, and they try to stop you because you're not supposed to be there, and you're a random alien race on their homeworld, and Anakin just starts cutting people in half, and you start like wreaking havoc in this factory. Granted, I mean, the people who ordered them to make the droids were bad guys, but man, these were just blue collar factory worker Geonosians. They're just, you know.
You are so right. I
Anyway,
have never thought of it that way, but you are so incredibly right.
yeah, yeah. No, that was pretty messed up. Watching that again, I was like, oh wow, Anakin and Padme are definitely the bad guys here. I mean,
Mm,
chaining them to pillars and letting like exotic beasts rip them to shreds is a pretty extreme reaction, but
right.
I can totally see a death sentence being being applied to someone in that scenario.
Yeah.
Anyway, my favorite I'll just say my favorite female character is probably Jyn Erso, or if I picked um an animated series, it would probably be um Duchess Satine. What are the
Hmm.
female Mandalorian characters from that show? Because there's Mando, there's the like buff girl with the chain gun who follows
Cara
him around.
Dune.
Yeah, that's is that her character's name or is that the actress name? That is the character name.
I thought that was the character name, but maybe not. I don't
That
know.
that is the character name. I thought it was the actor's name for a second. Um,
There's his sweetie on that one planet that he leaves. I don't even know if she has a name.
yeah.
Surely she does. I
Also,
just don't
there's
know what it is.
Ahsoka. There's Ahsoka.
Yes. Yes. I
Ahsoka
was
is
waiting for you
really
to say Ahsoka.
Ahsoka is really really good. Um,
You know what? I will
there.
say
I mean,
about Ahsoka. Animated Ahsoka is far superior to live action Ahsoka. And that's no shade to the actress. It's just that they can
yeah,
do so much more with the animated one.
yeah. I'm gonna be really specific about the answer for okay. Favorite Clone Wars female character is like the last season
Mm-hmm.
Ahsoka
Yes.
specifically.
Yes.
Um, the earliest Ahsoka, they were still trying to like figure out like character stuff. I mean, she
She's
was
pretty
a little
annoying.
annoying to start,
She was
but
also
she
a
became
child.
one of the best. Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
for sure. She became one of the best characters in the show.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Well, and then when she comes back in Rebels, when she shows up, it's like, Ahsoka,
Mm-hmm.
you're
Mm-hmm.
alive. You're around. Oh my gosh. It's very exciting.
Yeah.
And I'm
Okay.
excited for the live action Ahsoka show. So don't get me wrong.
Oh, me too.
I
Yeah.
like it when she shows up in the animated shows.
Okay, forget everything I said. Okay, Duchess Satine is still cool, but Ahsoka is okay. Ahsoka is definitely the right answer for like favorite cartoon like female
Yeah,
character, and for live action, I still really like Jyn Erso though. I'm still going to keep her for my live action pick.
I think
But
that's a great answer.
yeah.
So the thing I heard about Satine is that the theory is that she was like captured or brought back from the dead or something, and she's the Mason, the Mandalorian Mason.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about?
that'd be bizarre.
It
Yeah,
would be
the
very strange.
Smith.
I don't think it's true, but it was an interesting theory I read.
I was going to say she ended up on Tatooine, and she was the female Tusken Raider in the Book of Boba Fett show.
No,
No, that's
that would
stupid.
be really wild.
Actually, I want to change my answer for favorite live action female to that female Tusken Raider from Book of Boba Fett.
She's pretty
I would like to
fantastic.
formally change my answer to that character. Anyway, continue.
Okay, favorite ship/couple.
Oh, okay. Character ship, not ship.
Yes.
My favorite couple. As a kid, I would have said Anakin and Padme. But rewatching episode 2, man,
It's a little
that
brutal.
was pretty bad. Episode 2 is a bad movie.
It is. Hands down.
It's a really bad movie. It's good Star Wars. I heard someone give that take where like the prequels are bad movies, but they're good Star Wars. Like the story is good. The execution, eh.
And the most recent trilogy is bad Star Wars, but okay movies.
Yeah, well made for the like technically, like special effects wise. But yeah, the story, they lost the plot. Anyway, favorite ship. My favorite ship. All right, this is gonna be controversial. All right,
Oh,
this is controversial
I'm
because
so
there
excited.
was a lot of people did not like this,
If you say
but
Rose and Finn, I'm gonna throw my hands at you.
no, I'm not gonna say Rose and Finn. Although, talk about a criminally mismanaged romance subplot. Just
Such a bummer.
professional malpractice what the writers did with Rose Tico.
I totally agree. I feel so bad for her.
What? Oh, good grief. Anyway, no, that's not it. I was going to say Jar Jar and Sebulba. No, that's not it either.
Oh, I'm sure there's fan fiction for that, but yuck.
No, shut up. No, I was gonna say Ben Solo and Ray.
Oh, I don't. I guess I suppose that is kind of controversial, but I think that's a valid ship.
Some people hated that, and some people were like really upset with the fact that they kissed it in Rise of Skywalker, but I was okay with it. I was here for it. I wanted the redemption arc for Ben Solo, and there was definitely something there
Right.
between the two of them.
You're specifically saying Ben Solo and not Kylo Ren, which I think makes all the difference.
Yes, I also don't really. I feel like the whole them like classifying them as a different person when they're Kylo Ren or like Darth Vader and Anakin. I've never really been a big fan of that because it's like it just feels kind of like a cop out for them to like excuse away the bad things that they did because I
Oh,
wasn't me, I was Kylo Ren. You know what I mean? But so like I've never
yeah.
really liked that. So when I say Ben Solo, I still mean like they were the same person in my opinion, but they were redeemed, you know.
Sure.
but still,
I don't
like,
I don't
did
disagree with you. I just
yeah,
think that I think that as people we go through seasons in our lives too, and I know that I'm not the same person now that I was 10 years ago, and
yeah, it's fair.
I hope that in 10 years I'm a better version of myself even still. So,
Yeah,
obviously there were some deep valleys for them instead of, continual growth, but sometimes we have valleys as people. So,
yeah. Um. Anyway, that can be a whole other tangent.
right.
Um.
Not to be philosophical on the pod, but
Yeah, because that's a whole other thing we can get into with like whether or not Darth Vader or Kylo Ren can actually be redeemed in like storytelling mechanics wise, and whether or not that would even work because they were both genocidal and they both killed millions. But
well, and it's the same question with Gollum. Can Gollum be redeemed?
he only killed his cousin
He killed other things, but
and some
but like
orcs.
it's a similar like falling to the
Yeah, I know
depths
what you
of
mean.
depravity. Can you come back from that? Anyway, you're
Right.
right.
And
That is a
there's
whole
some
separate topic for a
yeah,
podcast.
some people think that you can pass a point of being irredeemable, and some people think that you can be redeemed no matter how deep you dive. So that's a whole other interesting theme in Star Wars that gets explored. But anyway, continue on with your questions.
Who is your least favorite ship or couple?
Oh, Finn and Rose.
I was gonna say Luke and Leia, but yes, Finn and Rose.
Okay, I don't even count that. I don't
I
even
know,
count that.
but
I know it was a
they
thing like before.
yes.
Yeah,
Well, when you watch A New Hope, it's like, oh, who's Leia gonna go for? Because you, as an audience, you have no idea, and she is flirty
yeah,
with both of them. So,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. But I was too young when I watched those
sure,
to appreciate that. Those things went over my head.
right. You were pretty little.
And like when Leia kisses Luke in Empire Strikes Back, I remember just being like, "Why'd she do that?" That
Everybody
was
wants to
weird.
know.
Um,
Yes.
my least favorite ship is definitely it's either Finn and Rose or it's Jar Jar and Sebulba.
Okay. Okay.
um, yeah, it's definitely it's Finn and Rose, but it's not because they would have been a bad couple. It's because there was just really dumb. Um, it just wasn't handled well. There was some like weird hero worship happening from Rose to Finn, and it felt like a weird power dynamic thing. There was
And
like to
yeah.
me anyway.
Oh yeah.
Um,
And Finn was
there
just
was
oblivious.
yeah, and they just made it was weird, but then Finn was also just mismanaged character. Just again, malpractice, professional
Yes.
malpractice.
Yes.
Um, the way they handled his character. So really, it could have been fine, but they just totally botched it completely. And then with the whole her preventing him from sacrificing himself to save everyone. Oh, we don't beat them by killing who we hate. It's by saving who we love. And it's like just okay, throw away nice warm fuzzy one liner, but also makes zero sense because purple hair lady Admiral whatever her name was literally did both at once and nobody batted an eye with her like light speed ramming of the ship. Like she just did that. Like
Right.
this movie is suddenly having a message of oh no, don't do that. Don't kill yourself to save other people. We don't do that. We save the people we love. We don't destroy the people we hate. Come on now.
Yeah.
Just
Since when in Star Wars has that been the thing? But anyway.
tell that to Yoda while he was trying to just destroy Sidious.
Yeah.
Tell that to Obi-Wan
Yeah.
as he was cutting off Anakin's limbs and throwing him in lava. Anyway,
Sometimes we try to kill the people we love. Oh, great. Love that.
yeah,
Ooh.
to save the universe. That's like,
Yeah. Favorite planet?
oh, that's a great one. Alderaan. No, my favorite planet. is not Tatooine. That's for dang sure. Part of me wants to base this off of like my favorite Star Wars Battlefront 2 maps. From
Okay. That's
ooh,
fair.
Kashyyyk. It's Kashyyyk.
Yeah.
100%. Wookiee homeworld? Say less. Yeah, dude.
So
I'll
cool.
hang out there any day.
For sure. It's a very cool planet. Okay. I know the answer to this one, and I'm sure that the audience also knows the answer to this one, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Least favorite planet?
Tatooine.
Yes. Okay.
Mostly because it's been done to death and it's boring to look at.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, listen to other episodes of the Lit Round Table if you want to hear me rant about Tatooine.
Yes.
I swear.
Okay. Favorite TV show? Like in the Star Wars universe.
Oh. I feel like... okay. The last season of Clone Wars is awesome.
It is.
It was awesome. It's still not my favorite TV show, though. Because I feel like my favorite TV show is still The Mandalorian. At the same time, though, this is really obscure, but I have a very special place in my heart for those, like, 5-minute episodes, like the Clone Wars 2D cartoon ones that they made, like before episode 3 even came out. I have a very special place in my heart for those little 5-minute episodes.
Yeah.
It's like that was the Clone Wars before the Clone Wars came out, like the 3D animated.
Right.
I still to this day love those, but it's more like a mini series. It's like not a long format, so I'm not going to pick it. But if
I mean, you can.
they had made that like a long thing, I would definitely pick that. But it was just so extra. There was so much stuff in that show that was just crazy. Like Mace Windu destroying like 500 super battle droids on his own in an open field. He's like, he like punches them. Like, anyway, if you haven't, they're on Disney Plus now. If you haven't seen those, go check out the 2D animated Star Wars Clone Wars. They have them separated into just 2 different parts. So they're super easy to watch. Definitely watch those. They're super cool. But no, Mandalorian's too cool. I can't not pick Mandalorian, and I love Pedro Pascal. So no, Mandalorian wins.
Fair. Favorite movie to see in theater?
Okay. There was so much anticipation and build up to it. I feel like I'm gonna, even though it's not my favorite Star Wars movie, it's just, I think I have to say The Force Awakens because of how much build up there was to it, and there was so much anticipation, like all the trailers, getting to see all the characters come back. Yes, it was basically a shot-for-shot remake of A New Hope. I get it. Like, yes, you can have that critique. It's valid. I see you. I understand you. I even agree with you. But it was so cool getting to go see a Star Wars movie in theaters again. I don't care. I'm picking that one. Okay. Also, I did technically see episode 2 and 3 in a theater, but I was so little I don't remember really that not
you
that
don't
much.
Remember? Oh.
I remember seeing like parts of episode 2. I remember like the beginning, like the anticipation to see episode 2, because that was the first Star Wars movie I'd ever seen in a theater.
Me too.
So I remember the build up for that a little bit, but I don't remember a lot of episode 3. I mostly just remember watching that one on repeat at home with my action figures and my Lego sets, and I obsessed over that one at home so much that the theater experience is nowhere to be found in my mind.
Gone.
But I'm gonna say The Force Awakens.
Okay. Which Star Wars movie is most likely to make you cry? This doesn't have to just be the
None of
saga.
them.
It could be any of them.
I don't know if any of them have ever made me cry.
Well, you don't really cry at
Um,
movies, so whatever your equivalent to crying in a movie would be.
no, okay, whichever one would makes me feel the most emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's okay in a good way, not like in an angry way, uh, not in a I hate this movie way, which makes me cry because it's so bad. No, it's probably gonna be episode 3 just because of all the nostalgia that's attached to it. Order 66 still hits
Mm-hmm. Mm.
hard
Yeah.
every time. Um, yeah, it's been oh actually okay. Most likely to make me cry is going to be The Mandalorian, the last episode of season 2, where spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, where Luke Skywalker comes in and lays waste to those dark troopers. That was emotional.
Yeah.
um, that's probably the most emotional I've ever gotten in Star Wars. But yeah,
Okay. I think I'd have to pick Rogue One just because I knew that they were all going to die in the end.
yeah,
But I wasn't expecting to love the characters as much as I did. And so I was like, oh, we don't get to see them
yeah.
anymore. That's a bummer.
Rogue One has one of my favorite, like that Darth Vader hallway scene is my favorite
Oh, so good.
bad guy scene ever in Star Wars. Period. That was
Mm-hmm.
awesome. Um, yeah, I knew all those characters were dead though, so
You went
I
in
got
with
more
a,
emotional. I got more emotional when K2SO got blown up. that was really
yeah,
sad.
yeah,
Anyway,
yeah. Most likely to make you cringe. Which one gives you that
oh,
secondhand awkward?
episode 2, watching
Yes.
Padme and Anakin roll around in a pasture.
With
All
those
the
weird, like,
dialogue with the weird bloated tick cows.
yes,
They just look like big bloated ticks,
they
just running
did.
around.
Oh,
No,
with anteater
episode 2
noses.
has the cringiest dialogue and scenes ever.
Yeah,
And it's mostly between Hayden Christensen and Natalie Portman, but
yeah,
it got greenlit by someone, and someone wrote that script. Can't blame them. So,
agreed. Agreed. Most likely to make you feel better on a crummy day.
honestly, most likely to make me feel better on a crummy day. I'd probably go with like the most feel good movie is probably just going to be A New Hope because it's just
Yeah,
comfortable, familiar.
yeah,
You know the characters, you know the story. It's the first one, you know. I think
yeah.
that's probably what I would go with.
Fair. Now, I haven't asked who your actual favorite character is because I asked your favorite main character. But who is your
Oh,
all-time
shoot.
favorite Star Wars character?
That's so
Can you
mean.
pick
There's so
just one?
many. There's so many. Oh, that's rude. Favorite Star Wars character ever. Wow, that's mean. It's gonna have to be yes, Yoda.
Yoda.
I
Okay.
mean, Yoda, just classic.
Yeah.
Got some great lines. Okay, and also especially when we get to see Yoda again in the Last Jedi, when the sacred Jedi texts, and like Yoda like
Oh,
hits the tree with the lightning bolt. Um,
right.
that was really cool. And we got to see Yoda again in the Last Jedi, and
Mm-hmm.
Yoda whenever he pops up, it's just such a aw. And getting to see Yoda, like when Yoda comes in to fight Dooku in Attack of the Clones, it's still one of the coolest moments. I do kind of remember people freaking out in the theater for that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I do remember that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna go with overall favorite Star Wars character, most iconic Star Wars character. Um, I think it's well, I hate this so much. There's too many characters. I like Yoda. Okay, I'm gonna pick favorite good guy and favorite bad guy. Okay, sue me.
Okay.
Favorite good guy is
No?
Yoda, and my favorite bad guy is Darth Vader. I'm gonna go with
Okay.
those two. Okay.
I mean, I asked for your favorite Sith, and you didn't mention Darth Vader, who is a Sith.
Well, he's such a I know, but he's such a like weird in my head. I view him as more of a troubled good guy. he's he's like
Okay.
he's a mentally ill good guy uh with trauma, and
Accurate.
I part of me is like, even when he was like, I'm a Sith, part of me is like, part of you is still holding out and is still holding on to like the good. So it's hard for me to say he's my favorite Sith.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
Because
I.
okay, but Darth Maul is like die hard Sith. Like
Oh yeah. Like he
like
doesn't
I've
think
got
the Sith are bad enough.
yeah. He thinks
Mm-hmm.
Palpatine is weak sauce, you know.
Yeah.
He like I remember seeing he like quotes the Sith code when he's crazy on that dumpster planet when he gets found. He's like quoting the Sith code to himself.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Ooh, you're." See, when I think Sith, I don't think of Darth Vader. I think of Darth Maul. But
Well, and also when we know Darth Vader in the original series, they never call him a Sith. He's just Darth Vader.
that too.
Yeah.
So when Darth Vader is not the first character that comes to mind when you say when Sith comes up.
Right.
Um,
Yeah. Okay. Last thing. Can you rake? Can you rake?
I can rake.
Can you
I know how
rank?
to rake.
Can you rank the 9 Skywalker Saga films from
I should have.
least to best? So starting with your
I,
least favorite, and we'll end on a high note.
I should have done this ahead of time. So, my lowest rung Star Wars movie.
In the
Oh,
9.
jeez.
So
I put my
excluding
arm
Rogue
on
One and
something.
Solo.
Yes, just the Skywalker Saga. We're
Yeah.
not going to go into those. Honestly, number 9, last place, is probably Attack of the Clones. That's not a good movie. It's just not. I just rewatched it, so it's fresh, and it's a fresh pile of bantha poodoo. Um, it's it's not good.
It's
It's
funny because when
me.
I rewatched them, that's how I felt too. Like,
Yeah,
ugh.
it's very memeable.
Oh, for sure.
The prequel memes are incredible. Episode
They
2
are.
is definitely the weakest Star Wars movie
Mm-hmm.
ever. Um, and I'm going to follow it up with. See, that was the easy choice. Now I have to actually think. Now I have to actually think about, okay, what's next? What's the next worst one? It's honestly a tie between like 3 of them.
Which 3?
I'm
I'll
gonna
help you.
go Phantom Menace, Last Jedi, and Rise of Skywalker.
I would say The Last Jedi because it feels the least like a Star Wars movie and the
Yes, I will
most
give it.
disjointed.
I will give it credit. I'm gonna insert a question. Joseph, which Star Wars movie do you think had the best special effects and was the prettiest to look at? I think The Last Jedi for me is probably that one. Um, because it has some great special effects and some really pretty moments, but it's just,
Sure.
what were you thinking with the plot? And
Right.
like the mechanics of like the technology and like the world building, like anyway. Um yeah, okay, we'll go with Last Jedi for number 8. After that, I'm going to go with um I'm going to go with the Phantom Menace for my number 7 spot because midichlorians, really
I knew
dumb.
you were going to say the midichlorians.
But pod racing, that was dope.
Well,
Which is why you're not in last
and
place.
the Duel of the Fates. I mean,
And Duel of Fates was pretty slick. Um,
yeah,
that was one of the best lightsaber fights ever in Star Wars, for
absolutely.
sure. Because here's the thing, I don't think any of these, okay, with the exception of Attack of the Clones, after that one, none of them are like. It's not like I would never watch them again. You know,
Right.
they're yeah, they're not awful. So after Phantom Menace is going to be Rise of Skywalker. Um, just because it needed those three movies, the sequel movies needed to be written by the same person,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
written
they
and
don't have a
directed
good
by the
through
same
line.
person. They do
Yeah.
not. You can tell. I don't care how many times you tell me, "Oh, Ryan Johnson and J.J. Abrams were talking," and like it was a joint thing. No, they weren't. Don't tell me that. You cannot tell me that.
Disney.
I
Trying
I
to
flat
Disneyfy
out
it.
I flat out reject that notion, and I think that is a lie.
It's a
If
PR
anyone,
stunt.
if Kathleen Kennedy ever said that, it is a dirty, dirty lie. Um, so after the Rise of Skywalker, I'm gonna go with The Force Awakens because it was basically a reshoot of A New Hope with a reskin, a rebranding of Tatooine that was Jakku. Um, get out of here. I saw cool concept art where like they were gonna have her start on like a swamp planet where there were like
Ooh.
walkers,
It'd be like
Imperial
Dagobah.
walkers. Yeah, only not as like cloudy and murky, but like it was a swamp
Yeah.
planet and there were like Imperial walker legs sticking up out of the swamp and they looked like trees, but they were actually walker legs. And it was so pretty and green and it was like nature took over the old Imperial equipment. It was so cool, man. That would have been
That would
awesome.
have been really
But
cool.
no. It has to be a reskin of A New Hope and it has to be Tatooine. I mean, Jakku. Um, Anyway, after that, it's going to be Return of the Jedi for me. And that's just because, to me, it was the weakest of the three original trilogy.
Yeah.
I mean, you get the redemption of Darth Vader, but again, we had to go back to Tatooine to rescue Han. And Boba Fett went out like, uh, he just, he went out
Like a
so
derp.
easy. Yeah, that's the good word for it. Anyway, he should have been way harder to take down, and he just got hit in the back with a stick,
Yeah. And fell.
and that's it. That's what took him out. Um,
Yeah.
After Return of the Jedi, I'm gonna go with The New Hope
Okay.
for number three. Classic, the first Star Wars movie. The special effects are dated, but they still look kind of cool because like the miniature stuff that they did. Um, and they've been able to like remaster it to make it even better. And I feel like that one has had the least egregious amounts of. I mean, there was the whole Han shot first controversy with how they re-edited it to make it so that. But
Yeah.
that's to me that's not as bad as making Darth Vader say no, no before he throws the Emperor down the shaft. You know.
Right. Well, they
Um,
did also insert Jabba into that one hangar scene, and that was like kind of a.
oh yeah, that's a little weird.
It's weird, but
That is a little weird. I don't remember seeing that scene when we watched them on Disney Plus, but
maybe they got rid of it.
I might have been distracted cooking because we were cooking HelloFresh. Um, so now I have to decide for the my favorite Star Wars movie between Revenge of the Sith and Empire Strikes Back. So
Mm-hmm.
in number two, I'm gonna put Empire Strikes Back. It's probably technically the better movie, like as far as like technically and just as far as filmmaking goes, Empire is probably the better movie. But Revenge of the Sith, for me, this is my ranking, has
Yeah.
the nostalgia factor, seeing the fall of Anakin Skywalker and the rise of the Empire, and really the like what I said before. I saw someone on TikTok say this, and it really rang true for me. The the original trilogy. they were good movies, they were good Star Wars, awesome. The prequel trilogies were bad movies, but they were good Star Wars. The sequel trilogy were arguably good movies, but they were bad Star Wars. What do I mean by that? The prequels were actually about something. It was about like, and there are themes in the prequels that still are prevalent today, of like being careful of dictators taking over your government bodies. Like the rise of dictatorships and like totalitarian regimes
And
and
monopolies and
and like big corporations like the Trade Federation blockading your planet, or like, so there's a lot of stuff in the prequels. There's a lot of gems in there that you got to kind of dig for and pay attention to. Like when Padme says, "This is how liberty dies, with thunderous applause." Just like, oh man, that's like your best line in this entire franchise.
yeah.
And,
I mean, there is some like really good stuff in the prequels as far as that is concerned. Yeah.
yeah,
For sure.
like overall themes. But Empire Strikes Back, I would say, is like probably the better movie again. But I like Revenge of the Sith because of just the culmination of all those things, of all those themes. Seeing the emergence of Sidious, the Empire is formed, Order 66 happens. One of the coolest lightsaber fights or sequences ever with Anakin and Obi-Wan and Yoda versus Sidious. Yeah, it's just like I said, the music is so good. I think I picked that one for my favorite soundtrack. Yeah, Revenge of the Sith is my number one Star Wars movie. So,
Love it. Love it.
which is pretty incredible since the worst one for me was the one that came right before it, and pretty low is also the Phantom Menace for me. So,
Yeah.
do you agree with my ranking? Was it pretty similar to yours ish?
It's somewhat similar.
Yeah.
Somewhat similar. Maybe sometime we can do on a rank Star Wars, but
I feel like you would have had
Definitely
Phantom Menace
discussions.
higher, probably.
I would have, and I would not have had Revenge of the Sith at the top because the Anakin killing younglings stuff just like kills me.
That's fair. Yeah.
But like I have a very hard time rewatching that movie because the Anakin's fall is so devastating.
Far. Yeah.
That it's just hard for me to watch. But in a good way. Like I think it's very well done, and I totally understand why it's at the top of your list.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Awesome.
yeah.
So there we have it. There's my Star Wars rankings. Happy Star Wars Day. May the 4th
Happy
be with
Star
you.
Wars Day. I know you're getting it a week late, but
Yeah.
that's okay.
It's Star Wars Day for us, though, so this is fun to talk about.
Yes. Yes, yes.
Awesome. Cool. Well, yeah, so once again, go check out our Patreon, subscribe if you want to hear the bonus content of us making on a backup character for the One Ring RPG that we're playing. That'd be fun. Gonna go record that right now. So, and yeah, I guess until next time, go read something cool.
And we'll talk at you next time.
Later.
Bye.